Okay, so in this video we're going to simulate making a bill for a restaurant. So I create a new class, Java class, and I'm going to call it bill. And I'm going to store a double that is the food total. So that's the total for all food that the people ordered. And then I'm going to store a double for drink. And that's the total of all the drinks people ordered. Then I'm going to create a VAT, and it's a final because the rate of VAT doesn't change. So it's going to call it private final double VAT with a capital. And I'm going to set it at 15%. Next, I'm going to create the constructor method. The constructor method is going to take in a food total and a drink total and assign it to the instance variables. Remember, these are the formal parameters. This is what the constructor method needs to work. Okay, now we're going to start creating some methods in order to make ours useful after I put in a Boolean variable. So I've got a private Boolean settled, and that tells me if the bill has been paid or not. And the default for that is going to be false, because we assume they haven't paid when they sit down for their meal, and I've added that to the constructor. The next thing, we're going to create a public, and it's going to return a double because it's a decimal number. Calculate the final. And to calculate the total, we need to add the food and drink together. So we're going to create a double variable to store that in. So double total equals the food total plus the drinks total. And then you're going to need to add the VAT to that, so it's total. And then we're going to say plus total times VAT. And I've used the compound operator of plus equals, so that stands for total equals total plus total times VAT, and then I'm going to return it. And I have to make sure that's a double because I return a double. Next, I'm going to create public double and the method pay for one person playing. All I do for this one is I return the calculate total, because one person is paying the whole bill, so they will just see the final amount. I'll set settle to true because once someone has paid the bill, we want it to be known. Next is an overloaded method called public double pay, and it's going to expect through the parameters the amount of people that are sitting at the table, and this will be an integer. And that's okay because we know when we divide an integer by a double, we get a double anyway. So again, we set settle to true, and then we do calculate total divided by the number of people. And because calculate total is a double, even though we're dividing it by an int, it will be a double. Okay, finally I'm going to have a get a public boolean, which is going to return the value of the boolean. So then I can check up on any table to make sure it has been paid. Right, now we need a main method. Okay, so we create public static void main, which didn't want to come up in the shortcuts for me today. Okay, first of all, I'm going to create the first instance, so I'm going to call my table 1. And the parameters expected are 2 doubles, so I'm going to send 2 doubles into the class. Next, I'm going to use the return, so I need to create a double to store the return in. So I'm going to call it to pay, and it's table1.calculate bill, calculate total. So that gets the double from the class and stores it in to pay. Then I'm going to print out the total to pay and then print it out on screen. Again, using one of the methods in the bill class. Okay, secondly, I'm going to create another table, table 2, and I'm going to pass in the parameters. And then I'm going to calculate double to pay again, and that's going to collect the total from the calculate total method in the bill class. Then I'm going to print out on screen the total amount and use the total to pay variable to display the total amount. And then finally, I'm going to say how many people there are, and I'm going to call the system.out.println table2.pay and then pass in the number of people, so it shows you how many people. Okay, if you're observant, you'll notice that I spelled main with a capital, so it won't run. So I need to change that to a lowercase m, because public static void main always has a lowercase m. And then you're about to see why I'm really bad at maths. Okay, so I've multiplied the total by 15. So what I need to do is I need to go and change it, and I need to make it VAT divided by 100, so it's times 15%. And then I can double check by running it. And now this looks like more normal numbers.